the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee to order. Just for everybody's information, this is a Zoom meeting that is being recorded and will be uploaded so that people can see it. I'll go ahead and take roll call. I see everybody's here. So Diane Solom.
Here.
Yeah. Nancy Eldridge.
Here. Pat
Brunstad.
Here.
And Rick Winningham can't make it for personal reasons, so he won't be on today. This meeting shouldn't take too long. Obviously, we're in a pretty interesting place these days, and just being here on this Zoom is kind of odd. So we're not sure what the funding for LTAC is at this moment. I know at the last I heard, it was about 11% down year over year from last year. So my intent, if you guys agree, is just, the only application that we actually have is from the convention center. We didn't ask for any other applications because we don't have any extra money. We are obligated to fund the convention center, so that's what our intention is. If something changes at the end of the year and more money comes in or there is more, then we'll just roll that over to next year. What we are looking to do is just fund, I think Diane is asking for $949,000 for 2021. We're only looking to fund 2021, not a biennium thing. So does anybody have any questions or concerns?
So just a quick question, and that I guess has to do with logistics of the committee and the funding, and that is, there's some fairly standard folks that apply for the LTAC funding every year. Is there going to be some sort of a notification? I know you called me about the Interpretive Center, and just wondered if there was going to be some kind of a public notice that went out, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, I think we did put out a notice just saying that we weren't going to be accepting any applications this year. We did run it by Brent, our lawyer, to make sure that that fit within LTAC, and just because of the funding, he said that that would be appropriate in this situation to not solicit other applications, because it wouldn't be fair to them to have them go through all the work of applying and then denying any of the money. Since we're not sure at this moment. We're hoping we can fund the convention center, but beyond that we're not sure, because it is down pretty substantially from last year at the moment. So
okay, thank you. Just curious in case somebody asked me as a committee member.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Also, just a quick note, many of the people that apply each year, they applied last year and their funds are carrying over to next year too. Correct. Right, Eric? Yeah.
Correct.
So,
yeah. Yep. So any funding that people received for this year, we're rolling it over, and so they will be expected to be using that money for their events next year. So okay. If they applied, next year for that money, they wouldn't get it because they have it already for this year. So
okay.
So then, Eric, I don't know how much detail you want me to go into with my application, but basically we're just trying to fund our debt payment right. and our operations. And then I did put in money this year, more than last year, for repairs and maintenance reserve to fund $350. I'm requesting $125,000. And the reason for that is because the former management was very budget conscious, which I applaud, but oftentimes Band-Aids were used where they probably shouldn't have been used. And so our building is going to reach some stages where if we don't spend a small amount of money, it's going to turn into a huge amount of money, like painting our soffits, which are rusting out. They've got to be painted. If we just continue to not do that, we'll lose them, and it'll be $500,000 to replace them. So that's the only thing that's a little bit higher than last year. Most everything is lower than last year. I am basing our budgets, our revenue budgets, on only being open the second, third, and fourth quarter. So I have no rental income coming in my budget for the first quarter of the year. We are hoping to put on Razor Climb Festival. That is revenue neutral, so it wouldn't hit the budget line anyway. But I just wanted you guys to know that we based it pretty conservatively on being closed the first quarter. We've also dropped our staffing dramatically for next year, just knowing that money will be tight. And we are also planning on doing Sand and Sawdust and Hog Wild, but those are revenue neutral also, so we're not asking for any money for LTAC for any of those festivals.
Gotcha.
So if you want to go through, a couple of the pages, they are line itemed out, but if you just want to You know, I mean, everybody has the materials. I can kind of go through where our revenue and expenses are if you need to. Most of the application in front of you is just backup from last year's. So it's, you know, our expense report. We have to show where we spent the money from last year. We have to show our true actual tourism figures from last year. So you guys just let me know what it is you'd like me to explain. If you want more explanation, then really on page 7, I believe, is the meat of it.
Tell me it's not going to get any better.
Hey, Diane.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is a lot of background noise on your side.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to mute for a second so I can yell. Okay, then. This should be better.
Yes, as far as your budget goes, I've gone through it a little bit, but we are just making the recommendation to take the LTAC money and fund the convention center. We're not actually approving your budget or anything like that. That happens later on when we do the official budget or anything. So, you know, when I looked at it, it's pretty much the same ask as you were doing last year.
Yes.
So I'm okay with that, but just so it's an understanding, we're not actually approving any budget or anything. We're just making the recommendation to take the money to fund the convention center. And looking at your numbers, you know, other than the maintenance thing, seem to be pretty in line with what you were asking from before. So I don't have any questions as far as the budget line items go. I don't know if anybody else does. No. So I think we're good.
So we just vote?
Yep. So why don't we take a vote? All in favor of recommending that the LTAC money for 2020 go to fund the convention center for 2021? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Nope. Okay, so that passes. So at the next council meeting, I will present this recommendation and at that point, I think, you know, the council will probably have more questions on as far as the line items go and stuff on your. At this point, I think we're good. So does anybody else have anything else? Any questions, concerns? Yes, Scott, you're.
Just one procedural question moving forward now that the vote's taken place. Is there any day we need to notify the public officially, maybe the city clerk knows or you know, that this decision has been made and that other applicants won't be accepted at this time? I just want to make sure we're on top of it procedurally.
Right, yeah, that would. I assume that this is going to get posted onto the website or on the Google Pro, correct? So.
That is correct. I will post the video to the website, and then of course your recommendation will be in the council packet that will go out tomorrow for October 12th meeting.
So, yep. So it should all be there.
Perfect. That answers my question. Thank you.
All right. So if there's no further questions, I sure appreciate you guys all being part of this again this year. And strange year. Hopefully we can get together in person down the road sooner than later. But nobody else has anything else? We can adjourn.
Thanks, Eric.
Right.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Nancy.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you.
See you guys.